For many people, a restaurant is a place of joy. From celebrating life's most memorable moments to avoiding doing the dishes, restaurants are where we go for every part of our lives. Working as a waiter or waitress can be a grueling job. You'll need to put in long hours without being compensated enough, and you're going to deal with all sorts of customers. However, the good service you provide can turn an average dining experience into a great one. However, sometimes those customers really surprise you. Jessica and Becky. Servers need to smile, stay professional, and be kind to customers, even when they aren't their most pleasant. As long as they know the regulars well and have good customer service skills, they should be able to hold on for hours at end. The staff get to know them so well that they almost become like family. These two waitresses were having a normal day at work when an interaction with a regular customer would change their life forever. At a Pizza Hut in Indiana, we have a story about the bond between a waitress and a customer. Jessica Osborne works as a waitress at the Angola, Indiana restaurant. Throughout her time, she got to know many customers and formed connections with them. She especially formed a connection with Becky and her two sons. Becky's family would come by the restaurant at least once a week, sometimes more. They would always request to sit in Jessica's section and request to have her as their server. Jessica even remembers their weekly order: 2 Mountain Dews, a mug of hot water for tea, and a large meat lover stuffed crust pizza, half without pepperoni and half without mushrooms and black olives. Each week, Jessica would chat with the family as the food was being prepared. "They make your day better when they come in," Jessica said about Becky and her two sons. About a week before the big event that would change her life, Jessica had more time while at work and was able to talk to the family. Jessica's fiancé, Derek Krause, was sitting nearby that night. Both families opened up to each other and shared stories about their life. Jessica told Becky and her sons about how she had started college twice, but had to withdraw each time due to a lack of funds. She dreamed of being a photographer, but was heartbroken when she couldn't pursue her goals at the nearby college. Becky told her that the family would soon be moving from Angola, a small city about 40 miles north of Fort Wayne. Saddened by the news, Jessica asked them to stop by again to say goodbye before they left town. Little did she know what would happen next. The next Sunday night, Becky returned with her sons, this time bringing along her brother and his wife. At the end of the night, as all the other tables were being attended to, Jessica was able to sit down with the family for a goodbye chat. Feeling inspired from the previous conversation, Becky had Jessica a check. Becky explained that she had received a large settlement after the death of her husband and oldest child in a car accident. Following the death, Becky felt so moved by Jessica's story that she wanted help. Jessica couldn't believe her eyes when she unfolded the paper. "When I opened it, I thought maybe I read too many zeros and I lost my breath." She remembers Becky had gifted Jessica with $10,000 to go towards her education in order to pursue her dream of becoming a photographer. Jessica was in shock. She cried so hard when she realized everything this gift would mean for her future. She could barely breathe. Later, when she told the coworker what had happened, she called her a liar. "I got that a lot," Jessica laughs. The whole restaurant was in shock at this generous tip. One person that was not surprised was Jessica's mother, Marty Kiskaden. Her mother was initially shocked, but it didn't surprise her that someone would want to do something this nice for her daughter. Jessica is a really neat human being. The fact that someone would want to do this for her is not surprising. Jessica is hoping to follow her dreams and attend school at Ivy Tech. She remembers back in high school when she was the editor of the school newspaper and really enjoyed that experience. She's hoping to study journalism and photography. She also plans to continue working at Pizza Hut as a waitress. "I've always taken my job very seriously. I will continue to serve pizza like I have."
Also, if you've not done so already, please subscribe to our channel and click that notification bell to get inspired by these animal stories every day. Now, back to the story.
Melanie and Walter. Melody Salazar worked at Luby's, a popular restaurant in Brownsville, Texas. She has worked at Luby's for most of her life. She works to take the orders and manage the tables in the busy restaurant. With Luby's chains all over the state, Texans know Luby's to have authentic food at affordable prices. The restaurant is always busy. Melanie took pride in her job and was close to everyone she worked with. She had a reputation for being positive, upbeat, and cheerful. No matter the situation, she would do everything she could to keep customers happy and wanting to come back to Luby's. In fact, this reputation led to being the only staff member who could deal with a particularly grumpy customer. An 89-year-old World War II veteran named Walter Buck Swords would dine at Luby's regularly. Melanie remembers the first time she met Walter. She said she knew he was somewhat special. Even though he wasn't the most positive, he was known for being cranky, demanding, impatient, and having a short fuse. Walter sounds like he was far from the ideal customer. His demands were sometimes impossible to achieve. His attitude would get so bad that many waiters and waitresses refused to serve him. However, each time Melanie would greet him with a smile on her face. She would be standing by ready to take his order on each visit to the restaurant. Despite his ill temper and mean words, Melanie continued to be her cheerful, positive self. Each and every day for 7 years, Walter would show up to Luby's and Melanie would bring him his meal. She made sure to have it prepared just the way he liked it, piping hot. She worked hard to get his orders just to his liking and always tried to make it a pleasant interaction with Luby's grumpiest customer. Each day, she would greet him with a "How you doing today?" and a smile to match. Her co-workers were amazed at how she kept up with the positive attitude, despite the less than stellar treatment from Walter. No matter what happened in their interactions, she always kept a smile on her face. Melanie took pride in her job and wanted to ensure that Walter was taken care of. Despite his harsh exterior, Melina thought the least she could do is be nice to him when he visited the restaurant. Besides, as the saying goes, the customer is always right. Melanie thought she was just doing her job by being pleasant and cheerful with Walter. Also, she was aware that he was a war veteran and assumed he must have been through a lot throughout his life. Melanie didn't think twice about her attitude when serving Walter. What she wasn't aware of was how big of an impact it had on him. Melanie was used to seeing Walter every day, as she had been serving him for 7 years. Suddenly, something unexpected happened. One day suddenly, and without warning, Walter didn't show up at the restaurant. Melanie thought this was strange, but couldn't do anything. The next day, he didn't come, and either the same with the day after that. This was so unlike Walter that Melanie couldn't help but wonder if something had happened. However, she had no way to contact him or get in touch with his family. As the days went by and Walter continued to not show the Luby's, Melanie's suspicions grew. One morning, as she was looking through the local paper, she stumbled upon an entry that shocked her. She saw Walter's obituary. He had passed away a few days prior. He would never visit Melanie at Luby's again. Melanie instantly felt her heartbreak. Even though Walter was grumpy, Melina felt so sad about his passing. However, she couldn't do anything. She didn't know anything about Walter's family or how to get in touch with someone to pass along her condolences. She continued with the life and kept Walter in her thoughts. Little did she know how much things were about to change. Melanie later learned that a favorite grumpy customer did have a soft spot for the waitress. He felt such a connection to her that he mentioned her in his final will and testament. Not only did he mention her by name, but he left her such a large gift that it would change her life forever. Eventually, the lawyers reached out to Melanie and asked to meet her. She wasn't sure what she would have to do with Walter's last will and testament. When she met up with his lawyers, they informed her that Walter had left her 2 gifts, $50,000 and his car. This completely unexpected act of generosity totally overwhelmed. As much as she appreciated the gifts, Melanie was so happy to see that Walter took note of her caring nature. She thought all this time that he didn't notice her. Oh man, was she wrong? Throughout their 7 years together, Walter and Melanie shared many conversations and hours of their lives together. She went above and beyond to ensure that he had a pleasant dining experience each and every time he visited her. Melanie was unsure what the rest of Walter's life looked like, but she worked to ensure that his time with her each day at Luby's would be a spot of sunshine in his day. Her patience and positive attitude really paid off. Most importantly, she realized how big the mark she had on Walter's life and how important he was to her as well. These 2 waitresses were given a new future thanks to their customers. These women are clearly dedicated to making sure everyone has a great experience, which is shown through the kindness these customers have shown the servers. No matter how much money you have, never forget that the people who serve your food every day want to be thanked for their service. It doesn't take more than a short thank you or even some good karma to show kindness and appreciation. And these were the stories for today. If you liked the video, please share it with your friends and family. Also press the bell icon to never miss the update from our channel. Thank you.